holding his left hand. At this point, the bomb should hopefully do what I just described to you and get far and away from the crew. However, that basic bomb has a lot of problems with it, the first of which I've already mentioned, the fuse system. You have to arm that basic bomb before you actually fire the main charge. And when you burn black powder, especially in humid conditions, it creates this thick tarry substance called fouling. This will muck up very easily that little hole in the back of the gun that you need to fire off everything and make it work. If it doesn't fire, the bomb is still armed and ready to blow, which makes it a little dangerous for everyone involved. Secondly, because black powder is not a high explosive, when these bombs did detonate, they did not fracture that casing into dozens of deadly little pieces of metal. Instead, they would tend to fracture it into 3 or 4 big chunks. Now, if that hit you in the midriff, it could cut you clean in half, especially with the basketball-sized bombs coming out of that 10-inch. But if you weren't hit, all you have to worry about is the concussion. If it's 30 yards away, that's not nearly enough to kill you. You get knocked down, you get straight back up, and you keep going. This, however, was starting to change, and a man whose name you might be familiar with, Lieutenant Henry Shrapnel of the Royal Artillery in the 1790s, started developing what he called spherical case shot, and it was a huge improvement over the basic bomb. Firstly, he replaced the old fuse system. The new fuse system would be lit by the main charge, making it much safer and more reliable. He also strengthened the casing. Not only did that double the range you got out of that 10-inch from 400 yards to 800 yards, you could also put it in a cannon and fire it downrange very quickly and accurately. He also replaced some of the gunpowder inside, and this is where his namesake comes from, with things like musket balls, pieces of broken glass, and nails, to create what we would today call shrapnel. It was a very effective weapon, and unfortunately for him, it's how his name is now remembered. But we are now at this point ready to fire off the mortar, but to do it properly, I'm going to need to ask for a younger volunteer from the audience. There you go, you had your hand up pretty quickly. Step right up.
Oh no.
It's nothing to worry about. What's your name? Riley? Would you like to be an officer today? It's a simple job. Don't worry about it. All I need you to do is when I point at you, yell at those guys as loud as you can. What I want you to yell is fire. They're pretty deaf. They work with these all the time. So if you don't yell loud enough, they might not actually hear you, in which case the gun doesn't go off, and we have to have someone beaten just to punish them. Would you like to see that? Yeah, you would. I can tell he would. He's going to be a good officer one day. Now, I will warn you guys, this is real black powder in a real gun. It will be rather loud. If you don't like that, plugging up your ears isn't a bad idea. However, if you want to get a shot with your camera, the best time to hit your trigger is when Andrew in the blue down there touches the end of that stick to the touch hole at the back of the gun. Hopefully, that's when everything will go off. I guess we're clear? All right, so 3, 2, 1.
Fire!
Fire! Minor technical difficulties. This is why you didn't want to arm the bomb before you fired the gun. All right, one more shot. All right, well, round of applause for Riley. I think he did a great job. Now, for any of you interested in getting a closer look at the weapon,